Energy is essential to meeting basic human needs such as food production, running water, light and transport, which are all dependent on energy access. Poor access to energy has severe impact on health, quality of life, education and economic productivity. It is in this light that the Bank of Industry and United Nations Development Program are supporting domestic solar power energy providers with a long-term financing for off-grid solar home system to light up 6 communities in 6 states of the Federation. After welcoming the guests to the presentation of checks to the 2 providers by the Managing Director of the Bank of Industry, Mr. Rashid Olaoluwa, the Divisional Head Large Enterprises in the bank, Mr. Joseph Babatunde, made a presentation on the journey so far on the renewable energy project.
We believe that through this program, we should be able to reach a lot of rural communities where there are quite a number of micro and small enterprises that can do business, giving adequate supply of electricity. And of course, we be part and parcel of promoting policies and various international framework that we engender an inclusive and a sustainable renewable energy market. What are some of the major achievements that we have been able to accomplish through this program? There has been a lot of awareness that has been created through capacity building for various stakeholders, various banks, MSMEs, and service users. And of course, we have also sponsored a lot of renewable energy program and workshops all across the country, both within and outside the country. And not only that, there was a very important competition that we organized through this program a couple of years back. We call it Access Challenge Competition. And I'm glad that Mr. GV seated here is a beneficiary under that scheme. Aside from that, we've also had a lot of collaboration, with so many other stakeholders.
The MD of BOI, Mr. Rashid Olaoluwa, in his keynote address, gave insightful details on the project.
Inadequate power supply undermine our economic development as a nation. Economic life remains paralyzed in many rural communities that have been left outside the grid for several years. This is one of the main factors responsible for the often talked about rural-urban migration. Rather than wait in vain for the national grid to reach them, there is a golden opportunity for our rural communities to be empowered with affordable off-grid solar home systems that are operated on a pay-as-you-go basis. East Africa is already leading the way for sub-Saharan Africa. M-Copper, a subsidiary of Kenyan telecom giant Safaricom, has installed solar home systems to over 180,000 rural homes in Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda. This is exactly what we seek to replicate in Nigeria with our partnership with GV Projects Limited and Energy Solar Limited. These 2 companies were selected from 8 companies that responded to our request for proposal in 2014. We are starting off with the provision of long-term financing for the installation of off-grid solar home system in 6 communities in a pilot phase as part of our renewable energy program, renewable energy partnership with the United Nations Development Program, UNDP. These communities, with an average of 200 homes each, are located in Anambra, Delta, Gombe, Kaduna, Niger, and Osun states. Before I close, let me commend the team that has worked very tirelessly on this project, led by my colleagues in Large Enterprise Directorate, Alhaji Alkali and Mr. Joseph Babatunde. And the team members from the, you guys should come out and be recognized. Where is Ruse? Yes, so Austin and Ruse have traveled across the whole country to locate these communities because we are determined to ensure that we can actually deploy this solution in communities that don't have, that are currently outside the national grid. So they have gone to very remote locations all over the country. So well done, guys. You are making a difference.
Thereafter, checks were presented to the beneficiaries accompanied by the representatives of each of the selected states. The beneficiaries also had this to say.
I have to tell you that we are excited and again we are humbled to be a beneficiary of the BOI off-grid electrification project. As a matter of fact, it's exactly 2 years now that I moved back to Nigeria. And it's really amazing to know that, it's less than 2 years now and BOI we're able to see the passion that we have as an organization. And here we are now. BOI has teamed up, they've supported us with our vision to actually go out there. We have more than 100 million Nigerians that are not connected to the grid. So it's our vision to go out there to these villages and provide them electricity.
BOI caught the vision we had as young undergraduates, and they have supported us. Even the pilot project at Ebeke, BOI and UNDP sponsored the pre-feasibility of that project and also co-sponsored the actual implementation, collaboration with the Institute of Electronics Engineers, IEEE. So we want to say a very big thank you to BOI, and we want to assure you that the confidence you have in us, we will not let you down in any way. Because it's in line with our long-term, something we are passionate about, because we give up a life trying to climb the corporate ladder to trying to create impact in the rural communities and those off-grid in Nigeria.
When Austin and his team came, they moved around the villages and identified only bamboo and the initial north of the state of Osun. And I'm so glad, and Mr. Governor, I'm sure will be very glad when I give the report when I get back home, that only bamboo will no longer be in darkness. Nigeria will no longer be in darkness.
When this issue of this pilot project came to us, we are doubting of its own realities because of our nature of being Nigeria. We always perceive things in a negative way. Not until when they came the second time, we began to believe that it is real. We are very happy for choosing Kaduna State to be one of these pilot projects. So we say thank you very much.
In Niger, we are lucky to have gone a step or so further. We had the support of GTZ and the European Union in identification of rural communities that are not near the national grid for this kind of projects. And so far we've identified about 50 communities under that arrangement. And most likely before the end of this month, the state policy on decentralized rural electrification will be out. By so doing, I believe most of the entrepreneurs will have an opportunity through your bank, sir, invest in Niger State decentralized rural electrification project.
I'm very glad to be here, and I'm happy to know that BOI is sharing that passion of lighting up the rural Nigeria. Thank you very much, sir.
For those who have gone to Gombe, particularly Mr. Austin, they have seen the terrain of the villages that is so unmotorable. And this project has come to us not as a surprise, because the Bank of Industry are always first setters. I will take this report before His Excellency, Alhaji Ibrahim Hassan Dangombo, and I believe he will be glad to see Kolwa being the beneficiary. Thank you very much.
The media executives present also had one or two questions which answers were provided for by the MD and the beneficiaries.
I want to find out, these projects, are they going to be replicated in other rural areas, or they are just for a particular place?
This is a pilot phase. And obviously, once the pilot is successful, as we hope it will, we will, extend this to many more communities. In addition to that, BOI is doing this as part of our catalytic role in the society. We are hoping that once this is successful, private sector individuals, commercial banks will also look at this. It's a commercial model that we've tried to develop. And our confidence is reinforced by the fact that this is working in other jurisdictions.
How much is involved in terms of monetary terms? I could see 44 million, 30 million. Can you tell us the whole figure that we are investing in this project?
We have two models. That's a standalone where, each home has its own system, on the rooftop, and there's a meter which is going to drive the pay-as-you-go technology, and the customer will just recharge, the electricity. Now that standalone for 200 homes will cost us 31 million naira. Now, for the microgrid, where you go to a community and you put all the infrastructure in one location and just connect the 200 homes in that community to that installation, that is slightly more expensive. That will cost 44 million. So it depends on whether the houses are clustered together or whether they are dispersed in different locations in the village. So we have visited all the villages and we have decided which ones will be microgrid and which ones will be standalone systems.
You said the UNDP is also funding this program. So how much have they put on the table to support you?
Under the partnership, the program we have with the UNDP, the budget is $4.8 million. What the UNDP has provided so far is $1.6 million. And projects under this scheme are to be funded on a 50-50 basis with UNDP. So I hope that that addresses your question.
Looking at competition from CSR projects in some communities, and also the fact that people can also get power supply from PHCN in areas when they are available, when it cannot even be accounted for. How do you make sure that your project doesn't suffer this setback?
Now, for the companies that do CSR, for me, given the amount of gap that we have, everybody is welcome. Really, everybody is welcome. If you want to do CSR in solar, you're welcome. There are well-endowed individuals who may want to do this in their communities that they know the communities don't have electricity in some remote locations. Let's engage in this model. So I think what we are doing is we are introducing a model. We are saying this model works. Where we welcome other people to come and
discuss this model with us, and they can go and replicate. It's not we're not creating a monopoly. We are just trying to say there's a problem. People have been denied electricity for so many years. It is time to address that issue.